Welcome. This is Emmanuel Eyaba, and I'm a filmmaker and a media consultant. I want to welcome all of you to this wonderful program, Nollywood the Goldmyn. And I'm just holding brief right now. I'm going to hand over to the convener of this wonderful program for him to do a little introduction, and after that, we'll continue. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be also bringing some other guests. Well, they didn't plan to be here before. We have the Director of Communication, Actors Guild of Nigeria. He's going to be coming live on this program. We have also Mr. Francis. Francis is a very big actor in Abuja. We have Mr. Olu. Olu is also a very big actor, and we have one supermodel and producer, Bella. Bella too will be coming. Oh, sorry, Princess Bella John. She's also going to be coming live on this program today. All right, I'm going nowhere. I'll be right back. Let me hand you over right now to the convener of this program. So he's going to give us a little tips of what to expect. Please put your hands together for Mr. Ikechukwu, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and good afternoon. My name is Ikechukwu Pascal, and I'm the convener of Nollywood the Goldmyn, a one-day visual training on filmmaking. By God's grace, we're going to be taking you through several series, through several topics. We're going to be talking about filmmaking. We'll be talking about production, film production. We'll be talking about script writing. We'll be talking about video editing. We'll be talking about cinematography. We'll be talking about directing. We'll be talking about acting, as much as we can go before the time elapses. So I just want to inform every one of you that are online now at the moment, just keep engaging, keep your comments, keep your questions ready. And I want to assure you it's going to be a smooth ride, and the next few hours we'll be done with this class, and by that time we must have exposed you to all that you need to know about filmmaking, the nitty-gritties of filmmaking. Also, to be joining us is Yepiem Patrick, who is also a professional content writer and a sound engineer. So she will be joining us. Keep your comments and your questions, keep your notepad, write out all the questions, and make meaningful contributions. And I want to assure you it's going to be a smooth ride altogether. Thank you very much. So to start, I just want to know how many of us are online now. If you are online,
just dey big brother see of that. The person give me head, I no go complain. They just follow me. I no go complain. Just give me head. Just the cap.
Oh, that was it. You can talk about it.
They give you head, you know, say they will televise them.
I don't
Straight
care.
up. I will tell you, everywhere will see your head. One moment. See our head. People will complain for their head, go plenty. See our head. So finally,
this our Calabar girl.
so finally the head has come out.
What's in that? Tega.
Yeah, my husband broken up.
Don't break up. Don't break up before you even go big brother.
Like seriously?
Yes. Okay, I look for big brother.
okay, so to continue, we'll be starting with film production. And so I'll just do a brief of an introduction into film production, and then I will hand over to Emmanuel Eyaba. Emmanuel Eyaba is one of the reputable directors we have in Nigeria, and if you know about some of the blockbuster movies, you will give credit to him. He is the credit is a filmmaker, and so far so good. Being over a decade in the industry, he has all you need to know as per experience and all you need to know as per profession regarding the art of filmmaking. So he will be drilling us and taking us on the subject matter concerning filmmaking in the industry. So before we go into that, you as well need to know that having a knowledge about filmmaking is one prerequisite, is one vital tool that you need in the 21st century. You need the skill of filmmaking, because at this point in time, considering the situations in the country and Africa at large, you need skills, you need creativity so that you can excel on your own and not depend on anyone. And so as a result of that, it is very, very important that you have the knowledge of filmmaking. And having this knowledge will help you thrive on your own in the industry. So today we'll be exposing you to the nitty-gritties you need to know about this deal. Because Nollywood as an industry currently is worth more than you can ever imagine. Regarding money, is worth millions, is worth billions, is worth trillions of dollars. And so the space there is very huge and can accommodate everyone, so long as you are creative, so long as you are ready to continue to move. So we'll be talking about film production. What do you know about film production? We'll be talking about films and films. You've been watching films, and today we'll be talking about the art of filmmaking. When we talk about film productions, what comes to your mind? Now you need to know that as per for a movie to come to your screen, there are several stages that are involved, and so we'll be talking about those stages that are involved for you to get your movies out. But before we get to that point again, I just want to make sure that every one of us are here and are following, because as we've started, we're not going to stop until we are done with this very training. So the art of filmmaking is a teamwork. It involves every other aspect. It involves a whole lot of persons. It involves a whole lot of instruments. We have the directors, we have the actors, we have the director of photography, we have the film editors, we have the sound engineers, the gaffers, the lights, and all of that. All of these people are involved in film production. So depending on who you are, so long as you want to go into this art, you need to have a knowledge of this. You need to have a knowledge of how all of these things come together, of how all of these things work, so that you can make out a good production. You need to have a knowledge of how all of these things are put together to guarantee a successful production. Excuse me.
And Daddy, I believe you chop the food or you never even look up. Say, I think you say, come on, chop. Okay.
I get irritated easily with bad characters. That first two, is it
That
2 or
one
3
is
days?
new.
But see now, that see how she dey disturb me, make you come disturb me.
Like,
You come disturb me.
come disturb me.
That 1,000.
I want you.
Okay,
See how
okay.
she
Even when
dey
I tell her,
disturb.
say, if you select her, she said, no. She wants to buy some that baby.
Now, okay, that money, that
So I
first
know,
night,
I know to
who
come back.
pay
She
for
First
know
and
I
it?
second
pay
night,
the
she
money.
never pay.
Carry give her. Select her when you come out.
I know me
I was
say
telling her, calm down now. She didn't say obedient. No, I'm hungry.
I know me say the girl dey like
The
that.
thing put me off.
I tell her, say, make she go buy for her. She say she's not good.
Still continue. Most of them are not online.
She say she's not
Most of them are not online.
good.
That's what, it's not a problem. Now for you. They let them see it now.
My yaba don't talk about that. She's not supposed to be in the cartel.
She's not.
Director, I like this girl too.
Me buy am for her.
So moving on, we're going to be talking about film production. So basically, of production, we have the pre-production stage, we have the production stage, and we have the post-production stage. Now you need to know that for a movie to come to your screen, all of these things, just like a normal food is prepared, is cooked, and then is served, you need to know that the movie, the art of filmmaking, the film has to be prepared, it has to be cooked, and then is served. So all you need to know about this is that we have the pre-production stage. Now what do you need to know about the pre-production stage? The pre-production stage has to do with the stage before the production. Now you find out that for a movie to really come to your screen, it has to first of all move move from the stage of being an idea in someone's brain. You think about it as an idea, then you go ahead to script it. You script it into a professional script, and then it becomes a script. And by it being a script, the idea has already been transferred to paper. So the next thing you talk about having transferred it to paper is that what you look out for a producer. You look out for a producer. Now the producer is the person who now takes the script and begins to go around to search for funds. Now you must know the place of a producer. Who is a producer? A producer is more or less like a live wire in the whole productions. So long as movie making, so long as film making is concerned, the place of a producer is very, very vital. That I'm right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the producer is the person who goes around to source for funds. He goes around to look for film investors, willing individuals who are ready to invest to bring that movie to reality. And one of the nature of a producer is that a producer is highly connected. A producer is someone who has serious contacts with high net worth individuals. That is people who are ready to bring out money. They are willing to bring out money at any time. He has connections to politicians. He has connections to people who has oil wells. He has connections to investors. So people who are ready to invest in the script. So once he goes around and he is able to find this person who is willing to invest on that script to make the movie a reality, then he is good to go. And so the next thing that he does is that he moves on now to look for the director, to look for the director of photography, to look for other crew members that can come together to bring that to reality. Now you must know as well that the person who eventually agrees to finance the movie, that person is called the executive producer. So the executive producer may not necessarily be someone who is an artist. He may not necessarily have the technical knowledge, but he has the money. He is a money bag, and so he is ready to fund the video. He's ready to fund the movie, and so long as he's ready to do that, the movie can go ahead. You can remember the movie called Living in Bondage, which was recently remaked by Ransin Noah, called Living in Bondage, Breaking Free. Vincent Ogojiofo eventually bought the rights to that movie from Kenneth Inebwe, and then eventually financed that movie as well, become the executive producer of the movie, and the movie went ahead. The movie was shot, and you can see what came out of it. So the executive producer is someone who eventually stands to finance the film. He becomes the financier of the movie project. So that is the executive producer. So by the time the producer has gotten all of the financial support he needs, he goes ahead to hire a director, gets a director on the set, gets a DOP, and gets all the crew members that need to come around so that that movie can really be achieved. And as well, the cast and all of the people that are involved, pay them and see that eventually the movie is set to go. Now, at that point in time, the pre-production stage is over. Now, as well, you must know that by the time all of these things have been involved, by the time he has gotten these persons involved, it doesn't just end there. The cast as well has to come, and that calls for audition as well. So the characters that will play their various roles in the movie will eventually be casted, and that is done with the aid of the director as well, with the aid of the casting director, with the aid of the other crew members who will be around as well. There will be need for then the audition will be done. And as well, you must know that for the movie to be shot, for it to go to the production stage, there is need for location. And so that is the need for a location manager. There's a crew member called a location manager. So the location manager is the person who has the department that goes ahead to search for various locations that the movie will be shot. They engage on location risks, searching around the places to know where to get the location and what to do. As well, you must know that there is need for a costumier. The costumier as well is the person who manages the costume. Of course, by the time the director holds the script, the director as well goes through it and analyzes what needs to be done. He makes the script analysis, analyzes what needs to be done, the various costumes to be worn at each scene, And when these have been provided for, now the costumier will be on ground to provide these costumes to ensure that every bit of the movie scenes is taken care of. Now as well, there is also the props manager. The props manager is the person who takes care of the various props that are needed for each scene of the movie. Each scene of the movie, the properties that will be used, the instrument that will be used. The props manager is the person who eventually provides all of this, provides all of those properties. Is there to ensure that those instruments that will be needed are at hand. Maybe you are using cutlass, you are using guns, you are using all of those weapons and all of that. The props managers will be the persons to provide it for that particular scene. So that is the role of the props manager. And so as well, the audition and the casting as well, the casting director will have to be on hand, because by the time the script analysis have been made, he analyzes the various characters that are needed for each scene of the movie. So by the time these characters, their roles have been analyzed, he is there on hand, so that by the time the audition is going on, he is analyzing the various physique, maybe the qualities, the vocal tones of the various of the people that came for audition, so as to pick up the persons that will be right for those scenes that he wants to shoot. So that is as well the role of the casting director. So while that goes on as well, you have other responsibilities, you have other considerations that are put in place. I've talked about the location manager, I've talked about the props and all of that. So all of these things are considered and put in place. The costumier is there, the welfare is there as well, to ensure the welfare of the actors and the crew while the production lasts. And so he or she is there as well to man those considerations. So for you if you're ready to shoot a film, or for some of us who are going into filmmaking, you know that for a film to come to reality, this aspect of the pre-production as well must be taken care of. I must emphatically say that planning is very, very important in filmmaking. For you to really have a successful shoot, you need to plan well. They said if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you have to really plan well, and as per planning, this area of pre-production has to be taken care of. So that is it on the pre-production. So we move over to the production stage. Now the production stage has to do with that point of when the film when the director takes over. At this point in time, the director calls the shot. In fact, he is in charge till the set is broken. He is in charge till recording stops. He is in charge till the shoot is over. The director takes over. So the director now comes in and he takes over the total shoot. Now you must know as well that for a shoot to be successful, for some of us who want to be directors, you must know that the successful shoot of any video lies on the creativity and the technical know-how of the director. So the director is someone who is very creative. The director is somebody who knows, who understands. By the time he looks at the script, he understands and analyzes the way the things we go. So it's not just about the script. By the time the script writer has done his work, the director looks at it, analyzing it, knows the technical demands of it, and then based on his creative ideas, begin to direct how each scene we go, how each scene we run. It may not necessarily have to be what is written on the script, but as per his direction. So the director as well works hand in hand with the director of photography. Now, the director of photography is concerned about the pictorial success of the production. He is concerned about the pictures. He is concerned with the visual aspect of the production. Now, how does he work hand in hand with the director? Now, let's look at that. Like I said earlier on, the director is the person who handles the aspect of production. He is in charge of production. He calls the shot. So now, by the time he has imagined how the whole scenes will look on his head, he creates a mental picture of how everything will go. So by the time he has made this done this mental picture, what he goes ahead is to engage the director of photography. He now tells him how to run those pictures, how he wants those mental pictures he has created to be brought to motion pictures, how he wants the audio visual quality to be like, how he wants every other aspect of the pictures to run like. And by the time he has communicated these ideas idea to the DOP. The DOP takes it over from there, and so till the shoot is over, the DOP goes ahead to listen to the directions of the director. Now you as well have the lights man. You find out that by the time the production is going on, the director has an idea of what he wants to achieve. In the same way, the DOP goes ahead to accomplish this. Now you have the lights man. There are different scenes: the night scene, the day scene, the evening scene. So the lights man in working hand in hand with the DOP, the lights man the lights man now knows the right lights to apply, the right lighting technique to use for any scene. Whether flow lights, whether LED lights, he knows the right lights to use for every scene. So to light up the whole production, to see that the aesthetics that is expected from that particular scene is achieved. So he plays a very vital role, because the illumination of that particular scene goes a long way to achieve the success of that very production. Now you as well have the boom man, because the sound is very, very important. So for you to have that great sound that you're looking for, the boom man as well has to be a professional, and then knows how to work his way out to ensure that the sound of the production is really achieved. So the lights man, the gaffer, the boom man, the DOP works hand in hand with the director to see that the production is a success. So until the set is broken, the director goes ahead to film. So after the production stage, what happens? Everybody goes. The cast goes back to their various homes, and people in their various crew members, some of them will even leave. So that is it on the production stage. So some of the movies you watch, you see that some of the A-list artists, they book them for 2 days, they book them for 3 days, they book them for 4 days. So once they are finished with their scenes, what happens is that everybody goes. Now we go ahead to the post-production. Now the post-production is the final stage in the film production. Now the post-production, what has been shot, the montages, the clips that have been taken, the various scattered images that have been carried out in the course of the shooting will now be put together, will now be harmonized together. The background sound will be added to it. It will now have a song attached to it to create the feelings, to create the emotions that are needed for every scene, to intensify the feelings that are needed for every scene. All of those things are attached to it. And then as well, you must know that if in the course of the filming there were some mistakes made by some actors, maybe their lines were not carried well, or some other errors were done, such actors will have to come back and meet the director and editor for what is called the DR. And so this DR has to do with the dialogue replacement, where the dialogue is taken again, and this is done in a studio, in an audio studio, in an editing studio, where the actors come back with the directors and the editor. They go through the lines again. And as well, if there were some scenes that were shot on background, what is called chroma key, maybe shot on green backgrounds, what happened is that as well, it is on the post-production stage that the computer generated backgrounds are what inserted in the production. The computer generated backgrounds are inserted in the productions, and the chroma key or the green background is removed. And so when all of these things have been done, the background songs have been put there to intensify emotions, to create feelings. When all of these things have been achieved, the background music and for the movie has been achieved, what happens is that the whole set is done. The movie is ready. The movie is premiered, and then the distributions and the marketing starts. Bear it in mind as well that it's the producer that is responsible for the marketing and distribution of the movie. So you have to know this and bear it in mind for those of us who are going into filmmaking, that these are very, very important aspects of filmmaking that you have to bear in mind. So if you are going into acting, you're going into directing, you have to take note all of these things to ensure to have a successful film, to have a successful movie. So at this point, I just came in as a forerunner to introduce someone who will be taking us on the real aspects, on the various aspects of filmmaking. Can realize I didn't talk about cinematography. We'll have our director here who will take us on that aspect of filmmaking that we need to know about on the other aspect of filmmaking. So I'll be handing over to our guest. I'll be handing over to our guest at this moment, and he is the one who will talk to us about this major aspect of filmmaking that you and I are envisaging to go into. So that's the reason why we are here. So at this point, I will hand over to him. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody, and I hope you've learned one or two things from Mr. Ike Chuku. You know, he's been able to break down the whole process of filmmaking. I'm actually not going to be wasting time talking about the process of filmmaking anymore. The topic for today is Nollywood the Goldmyn. So we're trying to look at how you can make money as a Nollywood practitioner. That's basically where my talk is going to be happening. Few questions, and we also know that we're going to be the issue of network power too, because my phone is actually telling me battery low right now. I don't know how, but I'm going to do the best I can. So basically, when if a movie comes up, money is to be made, from the beginning process, from when the script is written, the scriptwriter is paid to make money. A lot of people have been in Nollywood for a very long time, but yet they've not made money. How do you make money as a filmmaker? That's where I'm going to be talking about this afternoon. How do you make money as a filmmaker? Now, basically, to get return on investment, why a lot of persons don't make money from film is because they do not think about return on investments first. Let us stop looking at film as a platform of fun and begin to see film as a business entity. When you look at film as a platform just to go and have fun, you will live broke. But when you look at it from the point of a businessman, from the start, there's every tendency that you can make money. So if you're a filmmaker today, begin to look at film from the angle of how do I make money as a filmmaker? If you're beginning to think that way right now, then this class is for you. Nollywood is a very powerful gold mine, a gold mine that has actually been untapped. Now, there are a lot of ways of getting return in investment in a film project. The conventional one now is you finish a film, you take it to cinema for release, and after that, people come to pay to cinema to watch it. At the end of the day, the producer and the cinema owners split the profit, and everybody makes money. That's the one we know. The other one we know is you shoot a movie, you do DVD release, you do VCD release. The other part is you shoot a movie, take it to Netflix. Netflix for now is like the highest market globally. If Netflix lays hand on your project, you should be certain of at least $50,000 and above. And we know $50,000 is actually plenty of money. So, but the problem with shooting Netflix is that there are a lot of standards that need to be put into consideration. And these are standards that normal independent filmmakers cannot meet up. So, how can I make money as a young filmmaker from my own little resources without putting so much? Now, there's what we call franchise in filmmaking. These are aspects of filmmaking that have not been tapped by a lot of persons. If you're making a film, for instance, and somebody's supposed to drink a bottle of Coke in that film, as a producer, you can actually have a franchise deal with the owners of the bottling company. They are supposed to pay you a certain amount of money for you to use that water in their film. That is because anybody who sees that film is an automatic publicity strategy for the company. These are a lot of things we don't take into consideration. If you look at franchises like James Bond, each time Aston Motors want to release a new car into the market, they actually release those cars through James Bond series. Go and watch all James Bond films. What do? The owners of this cars company bring the new car, write the characteristics of those cars. What are those cars capable of doing? They now give these characteristics to the producers of this film. These guys now imbibe it in the project. It's not just telling them, I want to drive in an Aston Villa car. No. The car is part of the script. A situation whereby you see that the actor wants to run away from a certain scene and he drives this car, drives it. They want to tell us that this car can drive underwater. They don't need to come and tell you that this car can drive underwater. They'll just put it in the script. It's something they have been doing for a very long time and they've actually mastered it. Now, cigarette. For you to smoke a stick of cigarette in a film, they're supposed to pay you for that cigarette you're smoking in that film. Do you understand? They pay you for the cigarette you smoke. They pay you for advert. The whites have really understudied it and they've really known how to do it. But here in Nollywood, we're coming up. In Nollywood, the person who has been able to understudy that strategy and use it very well is Kunle Afolayan. A couple of his films, for instance, now Peugeot gives him money, Toyota gives him money, Lagos State gives him money, Transcorp gives him money, a lot of other persons give him money. That's because they're going to understand the strategy. Let us begin to look at other sources of making money in film. It's not just wanting to shoot film and release it. I have films I've shot. I shot a movie called The Perfect Crime. I shot Perfect Crime in 2017. As I speak to you right now, Perfect Crime has not been released. We shot Perfect Crime with 7 million naira. And guess what? When we had the premiere, we invited 2 organizations alone. 2 organizations again gave us the money that covered the total budget of that project. There's an organization called FIRS in Abuja. FIRS gave us 20 million naira for a project of a project of 7 million. FIRS gave us 20 million. Nigerian police gave us 12 million. That is 32 million. The project has not been released and we already made 32 million. When you're making a film, what's paramount in your mind is how do I get return on investment? Producers, if a director or EPs, if a producer comes and tells you he needs money to shoot, the first question you ask him is how much does he want? And he tells you 7 million naira, 10 million naira, 20 million naira. The next question you ask him is how does he hope to recoup that money? It's a very simple question. If the producer, the director is not able to explain to you how he needs to recoup that money, please do not waste time in giving him or her your money. What we have in Nollywood, anybody just feels like waking up one day and going to meet somebody and tell them, I want to shoot a movie, and they release so much funds for you to make the film. At the end of the day, you cannot even sell it. You cannot even sell it because you do not know where you want to sell that film. If I want to shoot a film for Iroko, for instance, I understand how much I need to spend. You cannot shoot a movie that you're putting in Iroko and you're already spending 5 million naira for cost of production. That is wrong. If you're shooting a movie for Iroko, please do not spend more than 3 million. If you spend more than 3 million naira for an Iroko movie, you are already running at a loss. That is because Iroko commissions movies for 4 million. They commission movies for 4 million, which means if they must buy your film, they cannot buy for more than 4 million naira. So if you're going to sell a film for 4 million, which means whatever you need to shoot for below 4 million. These are some of the things you cannot learn on the street. Nobody will tell you these things except you experience them. You want to shoot a movie for Iroko, shoot for less than 3 million naira. So that when they now give you 4 million naira, you know that you have 1 million naira profit. Not to shoot for me, you go and collect 10 million naira from people and shoot a movie for Iroko. You're already at a loss. Because even if you collected 10 million naira and Iroko gives you 4 million for the film, even if they now buy the movie for 4 million, you've already lost. Because the person who gave you that money is already expecting you to give him returns. These are the things that we do not know. We only jump to going to make a film. Now, if you want to sell a film to African Magic, African Magic is broken into 3 major components. The least of them all is the one we call African Magic Epic. African Magic Epic buys for between 800,000 to 1 million naira. Are you surprised? Epic buys your film for between 800 to 1 million. If then 2 buy and they buy it for 1.5 million, and already your budget is 4 million, 5 million, you're shooting Epic, you will lose. If you want to shoot for Epic, your budget should not be more than 500,000-600,000. So at the end of the day, if you buy for 800,000, you've been able to make profit of 100,000, which is good money. That's the first cartel. The second one now is the one called Africa Magic Urban. Urban buys your film from between 1.5 to 2 for 2.5 million. So now, if you're shooting a movie for Urban, you can now shoot with 2 million naira. So that if you sell it for 2 million naira, you've made profit of 500,000 naira. If you're shooting a movie for Africa Magic Showcase, which is the biggest, Showcase buys for 3.5 million to 4 million. So that one now you can actually shoot with 3 million naira or shoot with 2 million naira, or as the case may be. If you want to shoot cinema now, if you want to shoot Netflix has requirements. You go to shoot a movie with 5D Mark III and want to show in Netflix cannot buy it. That's because the least camera Netflix uses to accept to shoot a film is 4K, and 5D Mark III does not shoot 4K. These are information that you should have at the fingertips before you even make up your mind to go and film. You don't just jump in location because you think you collected some money from somebody, you want to go and shoot a film, you go remember for your hand. Now, the problem with you not selling this film is that you've deprived another producer from collecting money from that EP. Because if I funded the film, for instance, now, and I didn't make money from that film, another producer now goes to meet the person that, sir, I want to make a film, and the producer knows that the last one he made, he didn't make money from it. Guess what? He's not going to invest again in the project. So please, young filmmakers, let us try to answer fundamental questions so that you do not block chances for other people. Some time ago, some of our legends, Nollywood top legends in Nigeria, collected 250 million naira from Skybank to make 5 films. 50 million per film. That was too much. Guess what? That project did not see the light of the day. To approach any bank to collect money to shoot down is very, very difficult. They simply went and closed that chapter for other people. Now, guess what? If they have succeeded in that project, if you or I goes to meet them now and demands for money to make a film, they will gladly release it. But the fact that those people did not or could not pay up the money they collected from them to make a film, that project died a natural death. So I'm asking, ask the right questions, make the right contacts, and make your films and make it right, so that you do not go to block the chances for other people. If your film makes it to Netflix, as I said before, the smallest you can make is $50,000, which is actually so much money. Some films they bought Amina for about 150 million, $150,000. What they bought Amina? Genevieve sold the most expensive film on Netflix when she did Lionheart, and Lionheart made so much money. That was because she did due diligence. Let us stop this idea of I know it all, I can make it. No. Ask the right questions, get the right answers, and make the right projects. So one aspect we can make money from is in brand placement. I spoke about brand placement before. A movie is a money-making machine from when you get the script. It's the work of the producer to read that script and understand where do I need brands to come on board. Laptops are being used, drinks will be taken, hotels will be used, cars will be driven, cigarettes will be smoked, condoms will be used. Whatever that makes it a production process, it's a product that needs to be showcased. And when this project is showcased, you have the tendency of making money. Do not sit and wait until the film is released. Make up your minds right now to start making money from projects even before you shoot. Some producers have been able to even get return in investment before they even went to location to shoot. They made up a budget of about $100,000 to shoot the film, and after finishing their brand assessment and everything, they got a total sum of their budget. So whatever that is coming into you right now is profit. That's the level we should begin to operate on. Now, as a filmmaker too, we are still talking about Nollywood being the gold mine. Yeah, I'm not your normal everyday kind of director or filmmaker, in the sense that, well, let me use the word that Nollywood spoiled me. I came into Nollywood. Some people started Nollywood from ground. I started from the top. As a young filmmaker, the first major project I directed was a series called The Frontier. The budget for The Frontier was about 150 million naira. I shot for 8 months. My hotel room per night was 16,000 naira. I stayed there for 8 months in a hotel. I started from the top. I was paying Waka Pass as of then 5,000 naira for one scene. All the actors were lodged a day to their shoot. Even your acting Waka Pass, they will lodge you a day to your shoot in a hotel. They'll feed you 3 times a day and lodge you very well. Do you understand? So I came from that side of Nollywood where we knew Nollywood from spending. 150 million naira right now is so much money, but this was actually paid by the government. So you can actually develop projects that government can fund. That's what I'm driving at. You shouldn't just want to make films and you just want to make a husband and wife film, make Wicked Mother-in-Law. No, 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 no. I started from making advocacy films. I am more of an advocacy filmmaker. I've shot films for customs. I've shot 2 movies for the Nigerian police. I've shot an autism movie for the head of service. I've shot an advocacy movie for um, National Youth Service Corps. Now, these are all very big international organizations that pay well. So I don't need to be shooting every day to call myself a filmmaker. All I need to do is just to get the right contact, get the right button, and you're paid so much money, less stress to shoot a film that reflects the organization. Not about going to sleep in the bush, shoot. I have my colleagues in Asaba. I can shoot a film for 2-3 days. They're always stressing themselves. The level I am right now, I can reject movies. If you bring a script I don't like, or I don't like the context of the story, I could tell you no, I don't want to do it. I'm not trying to say I'm I'm the best, I'm too much. No. But it's just grace. I'm not hungry by the special grace of God. I need to shoot every day. So what I'm trying to say is that for you to be a good filmmaker, you should understand how do I want to make money. These are advocacy films come in such a way that you don't need to stress yourself. You're just trying to do a movie for an organization. Right now, by the grace of God, we are planning a project for the Nigerian Army, which the Nigerian Army is funding. So they actually provide all the money, give you props, give you set, give you your offices, even some of their personnel, and you now go there to interpret the story. So there's so much money to be made in the industry. Mr. Ikechukwu spends so much time trying to break production process. I'm not talking about production process here. I'm talking about how to make money in films. Now, phone companies like Apple and the rest, they spend so much money to promote their products. So is it possible for you to go and meet those people and say, okay, we are doing a movie, and in this film, we have where someone made a call, and we think we want um, Apple to come on board on this project. They willingly want to come, but they need to understand and see the capacity you're operating from. And these things take time. You don't just sit down and wait when it's a day to your production, you now run to Apple. They won't listen to you. You need to plan it very well. You write to them, they'll ask for the script, you give them the script, you go for meetings, sit down, deliberate, talk, and before you know it, you'll be invited. You go have the discussion, have the talk. They've already they offsetted your bills for the film, you know. So it is right and very important for us to begin to think outside the box. We don't think outside the box as filmmakers. We just want to follow the conventional way. That's why we'll be shouting piracy, piracy, piracy. No. Look at a movie like Avatar Part 2. They started advertising Avatar Part 2 since more than 3-4 years ago. And the film is going to be coming out December this year. And the advert is actually everywhere right now. You know, so as filmmakers, Nollywood is actually the gold mine. Nollywood in 2016 contributed so much to the GDP of this country. You know, I was one of the lucky beneficiaries of Project Nollywood Act. We were sent to the United States of America for studies. That was because the government saw that Nollywood was adding so much value to the economy and to the system. So do not sit down and wait until you just go to sell your films in Opiweka or sell your films in Ariaria. No. You can still make it happen through endorsement deals, through signing MOUs, memorandum of understanding. Go to discuss, have a meeting with some brands. Now, there's a movie called Critical Assignment. Critical Assignment was funded by Guinness. They funded that film because they were projecting their brand. They were trying to project what they talk about, and they funded the project. So if you can have such projects, such organizations fund your projects, you're good to go. I have a project right now that I'm working with a couple of companies. I'm not going to mention it here for security reasons. Now these are projects that companies are about funding, and when they fund it, it's an easy thing for me. That one down is you've already made your money before you even go to produce the film. So let us begin to get to that level where we begin to look at other means of generating money for film and not just waiting to sell the film in the conventional market. Cinema now is becoming more difficult by the day. You might not have money to shoot a film that could meet up cinema standard. Why don't you begin to get brand endorsements? Look at what's happening in social media space right now. Everybody's turning to social media to make money. Nollywood is a gold mine only when you know and understand how to tap from it. I'll be running up soon, but before I round up, it will be easier for us to, if you make it more interactive by asking me questions. If you have any question, you can go to the comment section and drop your question there, and I will definitely answer you. Just drop any comment of your choice, whatever it is, whatever you want to find out, whatever you do not understand. Just ask, okay, I do not get this XYZ, and let's see how we can go on. We've started for about 45 minutes, so we have about 15 minutes. We're going to be rounding up this class. So if you have any question to ask, I want you to quickly, I cannot see you, but if you write the comment, I'll be able to answer you. Once again, if you're just joining us, my name is Emmanuel Yaba. I'm a filmmaker and a media consultant. Incidentally, I'm the Chairman Directors Guild of Nigeria, Abuja chapter. And I'm here today with, we're having this program on Nollywood the Goldmyn, trying to see how we can make money from the industry called Nollywood. Well, unfortunately, we've tried. We're supposed to be about 7 of us on this platform, but we are fluctuating between 5, 4, and 6, well, which is not bad. Out of 7 people, 6 people is okay. And I hope and believe you've been able to pick up 1 or 2 things. So if you have any question, gladly ask, and I'll do the best to answer you. But I tell you for free, Nollywood is actually a gold mine that has been untapped. It has been untapped because so much has actually not been done, and so much needs to be done to take us to the promised land. So, Mr. Francis, I'm going to bring up Mr. Francis right now. Mr. Francis is an actor based in Calabar, but he's in Abuja right now. So, Francis is an actor. So, Mr. Francis, do you think Nollywood compared 10 years ago and now, what has really changed as an actor? I know you've been around for quite some time. So, what has changed as an actor for you?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Francis Aitim. I'm a Nollywood actor. I'm very delighted to be here with you on the project Nollywood the Goldmyn. To answer the question from Director Emmanuel Yaba, I'll first of all like to go down history. From way back when we came into the industry, let's say about 2 decades ago, it was very, 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 very different from what we have today. With regards to the storyline, the equipments that are used today compared to the equipments that we used in the past. Like he talked about ways of making money in Nollywood. The endorsement placement, the deals, we didn't have all of those, back like 2 decades ago.
So they
But
say the comment section.
there's been a lot of changes in Nollywood. There's been a lot of improvement in Nollywood.
Yes, yes.
I believe you all are aware that Nollywood is the second selling movie industry, the second highest selling movie industry in the world, second by Hollywood. So that alone is a massive change that has brought light and improvement in Nollywood. The kind of cameras we use today, the kind of equipment we use today, from sound to cameras to lighting, the techniques, the technology. There's been a lot of improvement, a lot of technological improvements, a lot of technical improvements, a lot of artistic improvement with regards to how we interpret our roles. I'm speaking from the perspective of an actor, you know. So there's been an upgrade, a massive upgrade that has cut across different areas with regards to filmmaking in Nollywood. Um, 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 the market itself, it's been really huge. Just like the name of the project, Nollywood the Goldmyn, is indeed a gold mine now. Back in the days, we always said Nollywood had potentials. You know, we had the potentials to become the best and the biggest in the world. But now we are actually living the potentials. But are we actually living the potentials to the full? I would say no. But we are getting better day by day. The improvement, the improvement is massive. We're progressive. Do you understand? And I would like to envisage Nollywood another decade from now. Where are we going to be? Where is Nollywood going to be like 10 years from now? Where is Nollywood going to be? I would say with all amount of authority that Nollywood 10 years from now will be a place where when you see Nollywood films, you'll be like, wow, is this coming from Nollywood? You're going to be giving a huge applause to Nollywood 10 years from now. So to go further, throwing more light on the question by Director Emmanuel Ayaba, there's been massive changes. There's been a lot of improvement. It is not the same. I've been there for some time now. There's been a lot of difference, a lot of positive changes in Nollywood. So that's it, and we're still pushing further. There's still been talks, there's still been trainings, there's still been Nollywood is open. Nollywood film practitioners are still open, you know, to new techniques, new technologies, you know, to better and improve the standards of films made in Nollywood. So that's it. I'm going to hand you over to Director Emmanuel Yaba. I'll still get back to you. We'll still talk further. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis, for that awesome contribution there. And guys, I hope you've learned one or two things from there. You know, Nollywood is actually the next gold mine. Has been Mr. Francis Etim. He's been able to tell us how things have changed. You know, it's no more the outdated analog equipment we used to have before. We've been able to upgrade our equipment right now. Okay, I'm going to hand you over now to Mr. Ike, our convener, so that he can let's have his thoughts from what we've said now. Let me know if he has anything new to add. Mr. Ike, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, my able director, Mr. Emmanuel Eyaba, who happens to be the Chairman Directors Guild of Nigeria, Abuja chapter, and my able actor here as well, Mr. Francis. They have made a very wonderful contribution. In fact, with what they have said so far, I would automatically say that this meeting is already a success. So far so good. We have been able to talk about several issues concerning the surrounding the topic Nollywood the gold mine. So that's more or less to make us understand that the benefits, that's to make us understand the that the benefit is really massive. Because of some technical challenges, Patrick would have been around to take us on two major topics. which is script writing and sound engineering, which is very, very important. Also, another important aspect of filmmaking. And I want to tell you, it seems obvious that she, the circumstances around must push her to be part of this meeting. So we are working very hard to see that the technical challenges are resolved so that she can come in, because as much as I know, some of us, we want to know about script writing, we want to know what it takes to write a script. Well, while we wait for her, I would just want to let you know that script writing is not a difficult task. The only thing you need to know is knowledge, being very, very important in every aspect of life and every other thing that we do. Script writing, we're going to be hearing from the point of a professional. Like I said earlier, it's nothing different from what you know. It's just an organized way of putting down an idea that you have, an idea about a story. And so it's just that in this aspect, you have certain softwares that you use, you have certain rules that applies to it, and you have certain principles that you follow. And as well, should we talk about sound engineering? How do you fix the sounds together to see that you produce a good sound for your video? So she will be talking about that, and then we'll round up by talking about camera angles, so which is an aspect of cinematography. I already made that promise, right, that we're going to be talking about it. And so I believe as well that by the end of the meeting, we must have touched briefly on all of those aspects, and boom, there's a bomber package for everyone who is participating. And that bomber package is that we are going to send you a manual to your email address, which you already sent us. We are going to send you a manual on filmmaking, and so that captures cinematography, that captures camera angles, and all of that thing. So whichever way, you are not losing out on anything at all. So while we resolve the technical issues, we just want you to hang on, and we fix up that, and we continue the meeting. Thank you.
All right. Hi, people. Hold on, please. All right. I'm trying to fix some technical issues, and we're gonna be getting back to you shortly. So, if you have any question to ask, if you have any comment to make, you can actually drop it at the comment section. I'm trying to open up the StreamYard app right now. The StreamYard app can allow me bring you up on, so I could see your face and could also hear your voice, and you could also actually ask me any fundamental question you want to ask. Anything that pertains to filmmaking, you're free to ask, you're free to say it. And Mr. Ike made mention of camera angles, and camera angles is a very wide topic. But basically, there are major angles that every filmmaker should learn and understand, and one of them is actually the master shot or the wide shot, which has to do with a shot that encompasses everything. The shot has to do with a wide shot that carries the whole environment. It takes both the environment, and the actors inside. That's actually the master shot. It's a very important shot because when things go south, the only place you can run up to for succor or help is the master shot. So it's a very, very, very important shot. Um, the other shot after master shot that we have is another shot called medium. Medium now has to do with a full shot of the full shot of the character. You know, a full shot of the character from the knee level down. You know, it's also an important shot. Important in the sense that it helps to build emphasis. It uses to build emphasis for the character, and we see more details of the character. No more like the long shot where a lot is being concealed. But this time around, um, we use it to know and understand um, more details of that character. You know, so it's a very very vital shot. There's another shot called the close up. The close up here now is a shot that is used to show more emphasis. You know, the shot we use it to show more emphasis where we see the facial reactions of the actor. You know, the actor's performance being captured on a closer level. It's no more very far, but this time around it's more like it's closer to the person. It's a shot that is used to show um, feeling, emotion. If you're passing through some form of psychological trauma or stress, the best shot that they could give to you is a close-up where uh, we don't get to see the actor's emotional feelings, you know. So these are some of the shots that are very very vital and important for an actor, and they are shots everybody needs to know and understand to have a better picture of what's happening. We're trying to fix some technical issues. You might um, seem as if we are not, you know, this is Nigeria, a lot can go wrong. Internet issues, power issues. But yeah, we are going to be fixing all of that very soon. So, okay. So, I'm expecting to have your questions. If you have questions to ask, I will be expecting you to ask your questions because your questions are what will help me to know exactly what to do. You know, so okay, right about now, I think we will be joining our broadcast studio where we'll be bringing the second guest, and she will be um, not you, who know you.
When they disclaim the word.
So, so very soon we'll bring our second guest who will be coming very soon to help throw more light to this topic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be ending. We'll be ending on. Okay, we'll be ending on the link. The link that the coordinator sent to you before. Ask her to come. She clicked that link I sent her to. So the link the coordinator sent to you before, you're free to use that link right now. We'll be shutting down on this particular link, and we'll now go on the other link where we can have the leverage of seeing ourselves better. So you know, oh shit, this phone needs to charge full. This phone needs to charge full. You have enough data on your phone?
Data.
Enough data. I'll give me your Wi-Fi. This one not off. This one I won't use. This one not off. I was using this one. Alright, sorry. Well,
Yeah, you can use that link.
that's from our first link we sent to us.
It's like that.
And the phone is starting to charge.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
So, have you told her on your hotspot for me? With your hotspot now, I can. This phone is this. I'm supposed to be using hotspot from this one, but it's off. It's not fully charged. We'll not to waste time now and again. Alright, sorry, my people. So I even forgot I was online. Alright, so as I was saying, we're having some little technical issues, but we'll be fixing them very soon. So just give us few minutes. Let's sort this thing out, and we will join you. Thank you. So just put it like this. And you talk. On your data for me, this phone not off. What's it called?
My password.
What's it called? Is that Infinix Hot 9?
Infinix Hot 10i.
Huh?
Infinix Hot 10. Oh, it's
10i, I've seen it. Huh? I know. No, we'll round up now. Now, just to bring her up. I don't need to talk. I don't talk everything I want to talk. Call your password. Huh? So you long call.
Small letter K, F, Y, J, T, I, Z, Q, 4, B, A, Y, Y, N.
N.
Yes.
Poor people, they are password. I don't even know. Correct us.
Has it connected?
Let me try.
Where did they buy that corner?
Okay, maybe I did. Yeah.
Records and look at I'm doing now.
You didn't ask them to give you. Ask them where they bought it. I told you. Yep. What happened now? Because the password is what do you do?
Yeah, these three got number on. There are three now.
Model.
No model. Apart from
You
that,
always stand the model.
yeah, apart from that, bro.
Call the password.
The password.
Infinix Hot 10i now. Call on me.
Passport.
Call.
KF,
KF.
EY,
Mash, yeah. KFEY,
JT,
JT,
IZ,
IZ,
Q4,
Q4,
BA,
BA,
YYN.
YYN. If you know green now, I think I can. Can't connect. I don't know. Guy, see no click on it. Give me that for me. I just move around now. Nothing we can. This one, all right. Hello people. Nobody even there online again, sir, apart from you. All right. I think we'll be signing out right now. We've actually we'll try to fix our network challenges, but it's really giving a problem. So we'll be signing out right now. But I think within the week, next week, I'm going to create another class. I'll create another class for us to have this conversation, even if it's just an hour, because we're having serious network issues now. We're trying to bring up our guests, but it's not possible. But on the whole, I've been able to know that
Well done, bro.
you've
Steven.
learned something,
Thanks
and
for yesterday.
I expect us to keep the conversation going. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, send us a message, whatever you want us to talk about. Just send me a message there. I'm going to talk about it. But I promise I want to have another 1 hour of this class again. Let's put it for Tuesday 12 noon. Let us plan for another class for 1 hour. Tuesday 12 noon. I'll make sure I'll bring our second guest, and I'll also share a few tips again, and keep your questions. At least right now I've spoken so much, I want to answer your questions. So on Tuesday 12 noon, let us keep it a date, and let's conclude this conversation. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. Thank you. Let's give Mr. Ikechukwu to sign us out officially until next week. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very, very much for being there. So actually, just as I said, we're having some technical issues. If not, we would have brought our second guest together. So having said all that, it's good to have you. So come Tuesday by 12 noon, some of us who are not here expect to have you. Let's meet again so that we can bring our second guest in, and she'll be talking about script writing. She'll be talking about sound engineering, and I expect you by that time to put your questions together and ask your questions, because your questions as well shows that you are part of what we are doing. Thank you. So till we meet again, I am Ikechukwu Pascal. Thank you very much. Bless you.
All right, thank you very much, and see you some other time. This is Raw Impact Africa TV. Say thank you. Bye bye.